o'clock, and welcome to Straight Up Talk Boston. With Joey Canzano, Johnny Peasy, and me, Billy Pizzulo, have we got a show for you tonight. Hey everybody, welcome to Straight Up Talk Boston. It's 7 o'clock, and we got a great show coming at you tonight. We have guest hosts here tonight. Paul D'Angelo is sitting in for Johnny Peasy. He's under the weather, and hopefully he'll be back with us pretty soon. But we have, again, Paul D'Angelo here with Joey Canzano and our special guest. Welcome, please, Mr. Nick Varano. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we on? Okay. Let's check if everybody's on the mic test.
They're on.
Okay. Nick, what can I say? Thank you for being here tonight. I texted you about a month and a half ago. You had plans you couldn't make, but you finally got here tonight. Directly coming in from Florida.
Yes, fluent.
Imagine that. And look how he's dressed, Paul. And look at you.
He's always dressed. What? You don't have a mirror? What?
No, Nick, thank you so much, because I got to tell you, we've had we've doing this 10 months now. Paul's been on a couple of times. We've had great guests, but I haven't seen anything blow up like the last week when I've been advertising Nick Varano. I got to tell you. So it's a testament to you. So
Well, I'm extremely charming.
I think this is going to push Nick over the top.
This
is
I feel so honored to be
Yes.
in this room with you three.
Oh,
gentlemen.
thank you,
Honest to
Nick.
God.
Seriously, but all kidding aside, we have a million questions for us. And if Paul wants to start the questioning, or if you want to
Well,
just...
can I just tell you about something that happened, a true story?
Go ahead.
So I go to Shaw's shopping, and the woman, when I say older woman, she's my age. I got a plastic container with blueberries on it, and she looks at me. You know, so sometimes the top comes out. She goes, she says, "Do you mind if I put an elastic band around your berries?" And I said, "It depends how much it hurts." And she cracked up. Thank God she had a sense of humor.
Well, anyway, to start off tonight, Nick, I want to do... If Johnny Peasy's watching out there, hi, Johnny. Hope you're feeling better. And if he's not, is he on your... is he making any comments yet on your Facebook page?
I haven't seen it
Okay.
yet, no.
Anyway, Johnny has some questions. And now, if you know Johnny loves to come prepared.
Yeah, he told me he had some questions for
And
Nick.
the first question, if he's watching out there, I hope he's watching. The first question he had was, Nick Varano, what was your inspiration to start a restaurant? Boy, that's really deep, Johnny. But anyway, anyways, I guess that is a legitimate
It's actually
question.
a very good question. And Johnny, if you're listening, I hope you feel better, my friend. It's very simple. I was 500 pounds my whole life. You remember me. Obviously, before I had a weight loss surgery back in 2014. So my weight, figure I open up a joint I can eat for free. You know what I mean? A half price. But I grew up in the North End before moving to East Boston. And it was a lifelong dream to try to open up a restaurant in the North End. So many great mentors I had in that neighborhood, and I took a shot.
And
it
the
worked
rest
out.
is history.
And I was reading about you don't even cook.
No, if I
don't
cook,
cook.
you ain't coming in. No.
I don't know how I survived this long.
You can't cook. You don't cook, Nicky?
I can cook at home, but
Right.
I mean, I can't. It's like I can't sing and I can't tell jokes. You know what I mean?
Neither can Paul.
You beat me to it. I was going to say neither could Joey.
You're going to be the perfect punching bag for Peasy tonight.
yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, Nick, by the way, I'm just curious, do you ever have to, and this is not a question from John, this is mine, do you ever pinch yourself sometimes to think what you've accomplished in 20 years? Some people don't accomplish that in 5 lifetimes. 20 years.
Listen, I think I consider myself the luckiest guy ever. I'm batting way above my average in life, and I don't look at it from the restaurants what I've accomplished, right? Because I truly think that my staff is the reason of my success. I had hired the greatest staff in the hospitality industry at all my restaurants, and I got very blessed and lucky because without them, I wouldn't be here. But that's not what I want. Like people ask me all the time, you surprised how lucky you got in this and time. I have 2 of the greatest kids in the world.
Yep.
Right.
I don't know your daughter,
Nico
but I
and
met
Marina,
your son.
yeah. But as far as the restaurants, it's a simple model. Treat people the way you want to be treated, and don't make anything a big deal. Everything's just a deal. I'm not selling anything different than the other 114 restaurants in the North End. We all serve veal, chicken, and pasta, right? Basically, same way with a different hand.
But there's a reason why STREGA is
That was
Strega.
a common theme in everything that I went through some interviews you did and everything. The common theme was make people feel special.
Absolutely.
It doesn't take that much to do it, just with courtesy and
It costs nothing to
make them feel important.
Yeah, it costs nothing to
Yeah.
make people feel good. That's what I seen you say that on the Perini podcast, and it stuck with me, and it's true. It's absolute. It's a very basic.
I always said,
philosophy.
if you come into any one of my restaurants, you're on a date, I want you to get a kiss when you leave that night from that girl. If you're on a business deal, you get a signature. And how do you do that? Same way if somebody comes and sees you sing or comes and sees one of your comedy shows, right? At the end of the show, if you go up to the people and say, hey, how are you?
Absolutely.
Let's get a picture. Let's do something. You made them feel good.
It's politics
They're
in a
gonna
sense.
leave there, because they can go at any one of those amazing restaurants in the North End, whether you're anywhere, and get a great meal. But when you came into Strega,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted you to leave wanting to come back
Absolutely, and they do.
and feel a certain way.
So I before we continue, I just wanted. The Moose just sent a text and said, "Your mom made the greatest meatballs."
Tell Moose, I love to death. By the way, thank you so much. God rest her soul. Without her, I probably wouldn't have. We're lucky. We have some great meatballs at Strega, and it's my mother's recipe. So thank you, Moose, for saying that.
And the funny thing about it is, I was doing a show for Vince on the Della Cava one night, about 2 or 3 years ago, and I come off, and your sister Rosanna had a meatball, the size of my head.
Yeah.
And I just, it was so delicious. I go, so that your mother's recipe?
My mother's recipe.
Are you
God rest
still
her
the
soul.
same
recipe? My mom passed away a long time ago.
Yeah,
Same recipe.
It's amazing because at the end of the day, people that have accomplished what you've like. Basically, at this point right now in your life, Nick, what's next for you? You've accomplished all you can really on the restaurant. Is there any other restaurants in other states you're going to look at?
No, I'm spending a lot of time in Florida now, but no, I think I'm done with the restaurant business.
Really?
I mean, I love having everything I have in the North End. I have my mother's cutlets, a new concept that my kids started, and it's going crazy. It's like a chicken cutlet bar made to order, and you pick what you want on it. It's going incredible. But between Strega and NICO in the North End, it's enough to keep me busy, my sister busy, my family busy. But no, I'm good. I just want to enjoy now. I have a granddaughter, brand new, 7 weeks old.
You do?
I do.
I
My
did
son
not
had a
know that.
beautiful, daughter, Ella Rose. So I want
Congratulations.
to enjoy some time.
Who's that? Who's
My son, Nico.
Oh, he had a baby.
He had a baby, him and his wife, Gabby.
Awesome. God bless. And so I guess we should start off from the beginning. You definitely grew up in the North End, moved to East Boston.
Yes.
And there is a beginning before the restaurant business. A
Yes.
friend of ours named Johnny Kaz.
Johnny Lefterakis, the legend.
Is that the one on the Linway?
No,
No,
he's in
Somerville.
Somerville.
Oh.
And you started before the restaurant, Nick. I know a lot of people, everybody knows you, but there are people that don't know the story.
Yep.
You started off in the car business,
Correct. Used car business.
used car business.
Johnny was nice enough to teach me the car business, and he's another mentor that I look up to.
Great guy.
Taught me the car business. I wasn't good at it, but I tried it for a few years, and then. But yeah, I did start in the car business.
And then how long were you in the car business before you transformed to a...
About 5 years, and then I went to a guy who had Rosina's in the North End on Hanover Street. His name was Frankie Pizzarella, God rest his soul, great man. And went to his house, and I made him an offer to buy the restaurant.
And that's the current Strega.
That's the car. That's the OG.
That was 2003.
Correct.
Okay, when did everything blow up?
So a lot of people know the story, but I got the entire cast of The Sopranos to come to my grand opening of this 49-person restaurant in the North End when it was the #1 show in the history of cable.
Yep.
Right? I was lucky enough, and in those days before Instagram and Facebook and MySpace and all that, you had the Boston Herald, the Boston Globe. Well, through friendships, I got some of the guys to come to the grand opening. The next day, it makes the front fold of the Boston Globe, Boston Herald. Sopranos come visit their friend Nick Varano's North End Eatery. The next night you couldn't get in. 4 days later, David Ortiz is calling to get in. All the Patriots, all the Celtics are looking to get into the place. You couldn't get in because they thought there was going to be a Soprano there or someone who was the #1 show in the world. And the rest is history.
So overnight you became the Joseph's Aquarium and the Joe Tecchi's.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah, I
because
got
that
very
was
lucky.
That was the back in the day, Joseph's Aquarium.
Oh, yeah, Joe Lopez.
Hello,
Amazing
Joe
place.
Lopez.
Yeah.
My cousin's married to
And
Gary.
Tecchi's, yeah.
And so anyway, you got something to say, Paul?
A lot of your restaurants are associated with celebrities that go in there and everything. And when I lived out in Hollywood, I'd see celebrities and someone point them out and say, "Oh wow, that's interesting." But there were certain people that meant something to me. Like it was kind of like a thrill to
Right.
see them because, on a personal level, for some reason, they meant more. Is there any one of these celebrities that you met that you kind of got that little tingle, like this is I can't believe I'm meeting this guy?
Many,
Yeah.
because like again, I'm a ninth grade dropout. I got very lucky, but so when these people would come in, I never treated them any different than I would treat any other
That's
customer.
the way they want to be treated,
and I
like
would
a regular
stop
person.
and talk
Yeah.
to them, and luckily, I've stayed friends. The other night, I'm with Lionel Richie in Florida, meaning. To me, like he wrote the greatest song ever. Kenny Rogers had sung it to my mother, "Lady," that was written by Lionel, and now I'm friends with him.
Wow.
It's like, wow, now we got, in your world, Sebastian Maniscalco, one of the greatest human beings. Forget about comics. He's amazing. Greatest guys you'd ever meet in your life. He's a friend.
Wow.
Just people that I would never think, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Tom Brady, like James Gandolfini, God rest his soul. Some amazing people have walked through the doors.
But Nick, there's a lot of people that have restaurants, have businesses, successful. How come they don't have the connection or the meet the same people and get as close as you did? How did this happen? Is it just your charm?
I really don't have the answer.
There's
to
got to be something.
But once they started coming in, remember, I didn't leave the front of my restaurant, the front of the door. I didn't go to, I unfortunately, sad to say, I didn't go to a lot of baseball games. My son, I didn't go to a lot of dance besides my daughter. Restaurant business, as you guys know, 7-day business.
hands-on business.
I
You
didn't
gotta be
leave
there.
there. And when someone says, "Nick, we have this, this person coming in," I was there. And I made sure before they left. Now, today, everyone's got hospitality books and they think they know hospitality. They can all jerk me off. I'm dead serious.
Right.
At the end of the day,
Yep.
it's a very simple formula. They can all come up with all these sayings and all this. No. It's very simple,
Grassroots.
right? Be there, shake their hands, give them a kiss, make them feel good, right? Don't make anything a big deal. And guess what? It's authentic. It's real. Don't ask for the picture. Don't ask for the autograph. Don't look to give them a hand job. Make them feel good and real. And if you can do that, they'll come back. And they, luckily, in Boston, our athletes are our celebrities, right? We're not. We're
Absolutely.
not Hollywood, right? Hollywood, you got everybody walking in the door every night. Our athletes are our celebrities.
100%.
And once I got all the athletes coming in, the rest is history. I got very lucky with some.
Did you feel at the beginning, was there anybody that come in so that you were intimidated as far as, or I should say intimidated, but maybe didn't jive with you, and there was a big name, but you just stayed smooth?
Not really anybody. I kind of all brought them into my world. After 15 minutes, they wanted me to sit down with them and me tell stories
Really?
about the neighborhood and about this. They just wanted to talk regular.
Well, I know you emphasize that the Boston Italian community is the best in the country. You still stand by
I
that?
said that 25 years ago.
You
It's
say
the
it now.
greatest inner city neighborhood in the United States. It's the greatest Little Italy in the country by far.
And how many have you been to?
Everybody,
Every one of them.
everyone in every city from California to Chicago to New York, and they're all great. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But there is no North End.
You notice a change in the North End though over the last few years.
But that's just evolution.
Yeah.
But listen, you're not walking down and you got all these crazy different places that don't belong there. There's no Dunkin' Donuts, there's no Starbucks, there's no nothing. We kept it the way it is, right? And I say we, the people that are from the North End, that live there and still live there and didn't sell out, and guys like Frankie DiPasquale and Jerry Riccio, and guys that keep that neighborhood what it is. Something comes up, they buy it. And they've kept the neighborhood, and with all us obviously doing our part in there, it's really something special. I mean, you come now during the feast weekends, you talk about it's a movie set.
Yeah.
It really is spectacular.
I was told Saturday night, and this is the St. Joseph's, the first year for St. Joseph's Feast.
No, not the
It's
first
not
year.
the first year?
No, so the first night was Friday night. No, they've had it for many, many years. A great society.
Really?
It was killing it.
I heard it was
incredible.
packed. Saturday night, they said it was like equivalent to the St. Anthony's Feast.
Packed.
That packed.
Unbelievable.
So, what we were talking before we went on the air. Tell the folks how Mayor Menino was a big factor in your career.
Mayor Menino, God rest his soul. I got a call one time, 2009, and I was at Strega in the North End, sitting on a high top by myself having an espresso. My phone rings, Mayor Menino, and he says, "Answer your phone in 15 minutes and don't say no. Someone's gonna call you." Okay, Mayor, no problem, sir. 15 minutes later, it's Mr. Joe Fallon, who I believe is the architect, the engineer, had the foresight to see what right now is the hardest real estate in the state, maybe in the country, which is the Seaport. Called me and said, meet me down Fan Pier in 20 minutes. They're all parking lots. And I go down there, and he says, where do you want to put a restaurant? I was told that you're the guy that can attract attention down here and create a buzz. Remember, this is pre-Instagram, pre-TikTok, pre-Kim Kardashian days, right? Come down here and create a buzz. Because I had The Sopranos, because I had these huge grand openings, I had Chaz Palminteri, I had this one coming, all the openings. It was incredible. Jamie Foxx would come perform. Nobody was doing that in Boston. They were doing that in L.A. They weren't doing it in Boston. And because of that, Joe Fallon gave me an incredible opportunity. I opened Strega Waterfront, and the next day my world changed.
Well, he saw the potential there too.
But I got to say,
his vision.
Mayor Menino put in the call, said, Joe, if you want to create attention on the Seaport.
But you're right, Nicky. Nobody before you, all the restaurants, except other than you want to go back to Joseph's Aquarium.
No, Anthony's Pier 4. They had legends.
Yes,
going.
that's true too.
But it was different. They were just going in, when they were in Boston.
They didn't create the vibe that you created.
It was different timing. I always believe that timing has a lot to do with it. The success of our Boston sports teams. We had a 25-year run when I was running and coming up.
Right.
Like second to none. So everybody was coming to Boston.
Right.
I'd get a call that, hey, Nick, can you take Jay-Z and Beyonce in? They're coming in for Red Sox Yankees. Right? As even last year, one of the craziest things, you said get intimidated. I never got intimidated by any celebrity coming in, except maybe Mariah Carey, because I had a crush on her when I was 18 or 19. Her first album, Mariah. I was a little intimidated. But a year ago, I get a call. I'm down in Florida. Jeff Bezos, right?
Wow.
They had Secret Service coming in twice to look at the place. They wouldn't tell me who it was. I says, listen, I'm not there. I want to know what it is. I make sure. Jeff Bezos coming in. So I call my son, Nico. It's a great story. I said, Nico, do me a favor. You got to be at the restaurant tonight. I'm in Florida. We have Jeff Bezos coming in tonight. No. Yeah. I says, go buy him. Go to Martini store on Hanover Street and go buy him, the Italian Hahn, the red Hahn?
Yeah.
I says, go buy him a couple of Hahns, put them in the box, put them in a bag. They're $1.50 each. Go buy them and give them to Jeff Bezos when he comes in tonight. And my son goes, Dad, I'm not going to go buy a plastic pepper for $1.50 and give it to the richest guy in the world. Like, what are you talking about? I says, listen to me, son. Comes in that night, right? Watching on the camera. My son says, my dad wanted to have this. He goes, he figured maybe, with all the Hans on everybody these days and, with all your success, just a little something, our culture takes the bad luck off you. Well, you would have swore my son gave him. He stayed and talked to my son for an extra hour outside the restaurant.
Incredible.
Because he can
Special.
buy anything
For
he
$1,
wants.
right. I think
so
anybody's going to give him a free
he wants
meatball.
something that's
Anybody goes, but my son goes, you're going to give him $1.50 pepper? He probably sells them on Amazon. Right? But it's just that little thing.
Little things.
That's what separates.
But how did
the
you
Strega
get these
experience.
ideas? Because not every entrepreneur can come up with these kind of little, not a gimmick, I would say, but just whatever you have, whatever gift you have.
I grew up around older guys. I grew up going to Las Vegas a lot. It was a degenerate. My whole life, I've seen a lot of.
See, Paul, you're not alone.
I've seen a lot of nice things, and I realized one thing, right? Especially in the gambling world, right? I remember my first junket I ever went on was 18 years old to Atlantic City to a place resorts, right? Old place, closed down now. The guy gave me a gold pen. Me, I couldn't wait to go blow my balls in the casino because he gave me a pen that cost $3. He gave me a room and he gave me a limo, and I thought, wow, I wasn't
That's
even old
no
enough to go
different
in.
than the
But
one
it's the
to
same
Bezos.
thing.
Yeah.
So if you come in and I give you a free calamari, if I give you a free meal, if I give you a couple free drinks that make you feel good, guess where you're coming next week?
Absolutely.
Your girl's gonna be like, oh, we gotta go see Nicky.
100%.
That's it.
Absolutely. No
It's the
doubt
little
about
things.
it. How did you get into the junkets, and how old were you when you started going there with the guys?
Very young.
Yeah.
16. First time I walked into a social club, I was 14 years old.
Okay.
And I never left.
Okay. We know who that could have been, or was it?
Yes. So, and I never left. But honest to God, going to L.A. then, going to Vegas, a lot, seeing things, going to all the big fights, and going to see all these things that I never thought I could imagine doing. I seen how you treat people.
It's
what they
everything.
remember.
Absolutely.
That was it.
It's everything. And the funny thing is, there are some celebrities that just don't have.
And there's a lot of people that do. You had mentioned the those kids, the Valentino and his brothers,
Oh, the Perinis.
the Perinis. They do an amazing
Absolutely. I
job
work for
today
them,
of
yep.
making- No, these are young.
Tough,
I say young kids,
hard workers.
hard workers. But they also, when you go into one of their places, they make you feel special.
No doubt, no doubt. I worked for when they had the original Toscanos, in West Peabody, right off of Lowell Street. It was the first one.
Yeah.
And I used to work for them on Friday nights, every Friday. You wanted to say something, Paul?
You haven't given me a chance. You're filibustering. For Christ's sake, Jesus Christ! Oh,
All right, Paul,
I'm waiting
go right
for
ahead.
I'm waiting for your jaw to lock up. Holy shit!
Go ahead, handsome.
No, you're doing a good
I,
job.
no,
You're
I'm-
asking
I'm
a lot of
fascinated.
questions I would have asked.
You would have. So,
I love his restaurant.
so you would have
Every
asked
time I
some of
go
the
to
questions.
his restaurant,
We got something else from
every
John.
time I go to one of your restaurants, I get the same thing with Nico, the check.
Yeah. Parmesan.
Johnny Peasy requested me to ask you this. How did COVID change the restaurant business, your business specifically, but did it change it, and is it still, did it ever go back?
I don't think it's ever going to get back to the way it was because people got used to being more outdoors. So it changed a lot of our business.
Right.
Because everybody now got the feeling they wanted, especially in Boston, you only have a small window, right? You have 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
You could be. A lot of people wanted to be outdoors. A lot of people. That's when really Uber Eats started taking off, right? Because they had to eat home
During COVID,
right?
yep.
But it also changed it. People, Route 1's a ghost town after like 10 o'clock.
10
at
o'clock, you
night.
can't get a sandwich.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It's the truth.
And ever since COVID, I think people are they staying home more? Are they? I don't know what it is.
I just got a text message from Jimmy Haley. He
I
says-
love Jimmy.
he says,
I known him since I was working at my uncle's store, Victor's.
He just texted me. He says, "Poor Paul can't get a word in." You're talking about Jimmy. Shut up. You're all busting my chops over here. Go ahead, Paul.
No.
I just
Is
can't
that
help.
what we met at the Tomasi, after Tomasi's thing?
Probably met at one of Arthur's things. So I seen your show a few times though. before
You
that.
mentioned Jackie Gateman. It's so
Yep.
funny because I was opening up for Al Martino at the Wonderland Ballroom.
Legend.
And in fact, it was funny because some of the guys from the North End came down to pick him up, took him out in the limousine, got him shit faced on Sambuca, and when Al Martino came back, he almost fell off the stage a couple times.
What year was that?
It was shit. Probably could it be like early '90s,
Wow.
maybe? And so, I go to the back. I get off the stage. Al's singing. I go to the back of the room. There's Jackie Gateman. I go, Jackie, what are you doing here? He goes, I own the building.
Yeah.
I said, that
He
figures 1,500 Italians, 1 Jew. You own the building.
yeah,
He
it's
cracked
true.
up. Yeah, he
God
cracked
rest
up.
his
It's
soul.
true.
I heard
Yeah.
El Martino was a bastard. Was he a fresh guy?
I never met him.
No.
I just like hello. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't really get. He was hammered. He was hammered. They took
Yeah.
him out, bottle of Sambuca.
They all did. Nicky, is it true you never had a sip of booze?
Never had a drink my whole
I
life.
wanted to bring that up because I find that fascinating. I don't drink either,
Never
but
tasted it. Never. At my wedding, I drank ginger ale at the toast.
I'm
instead
not
of
a drinker
champagne.
at all. But I
No,
have.
but I never tasted.
I have
never
tasted
had a beer,
it.
Nothing. No.
That's amazing. And there's nobody here that can say that. He
Yeah.
never had a sip of booze. This guy.
I made up for it. Eating.
That's all right. We could do some damage eating too. All right. What else does Johnny want to know? I hope he's watching. Is he commented at all on there, Billy?
I'm not. I wasn't looking. I've been a little busy.
Okay. Are we all set over there?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
good. Yeah, everything's great.
I guess another question would be a nice, good question for you is, how do you keep your employees like the Carlos and the Sal Ferracanos before he
Yeah.
went on his own? How do you keep them loyal and motivated to
Listen.
Nick Varano?
I've said it since 2003 when I opened the first door. You talk about blessings. I truly believe I had the best. I've said it since 2003. Restaurant.
That's you, Billy. Go
I
ahead.
know. I just went on Facebook.
Oh, sorry, Nick.
Because you asked me to.
I've had the best hospitality employees in Boston restaurant history, in my opinion. When I started out, I had just an all-star team, and I got fortunate that I had people that cared.
How did you
Right,
pick
and they
them?
see-
How did you determine that someone was going to be good
If
at that?
They just had you just had a care, and don't make anything a big deal. Somebody don't want something or they want it, no problem. Take it off the check. Make everybody feel good. And that original Strega was really special. And to this day, I still have 5 or 6 of still the same employees, Carlo,
Carlo.
Vanessa, that is still there since that day. I mean, you had Joey Esposito at the door.
Yep.
Incredible, right? Making people feel good. And plus, he was handsome at the time. He was very good looking. that made everybody feel good. You had Sal in the kitchen, amazing. Now he has his own restaurant. You had Carlo, Johnny, Vanessa DeMarco,
Phil
Toludo, living legend. I'll put him up as the best maitre d' host
The greatest.
in the restaurant business.
Awesome.
That guy will make anybody feel good.
He's the best.
He's good at what he does. But I mean, I got lucky, and then I went to Waterfront, and I, again, hit the lottery with the best bar team, the best cocktail waitresses. I brought Romeo in at the time from Abe and Louie's. And just, I feel like I had an all-star team around me that led to the success of the Strega brand.
You know, I got to say something, Nicky, and I don't. This is a story that I tell people all the time. When you opened up Prime, Strega Prime in
Yes.
Woburn, I was there and Joe was there at the time, and I remember you had given me every Sunday to do a Sinatra Sunday.
Yes.
Sinatra brunch. Nobody was coming. It was a ghost town. You come in a few times with your kids. Yeah. That's what I think when I met Nico. But 15 months this guy gave me, and nobody was there. He could have told me to beat it. 15 months he gave me every Sunday. And so I don't want to add up what he gave me, but I'm going to tell you something. Not many people would have done that after the first month or two. Joe, you know, it's not working. 15 months this man gets. So it's something I never forgot, and it's always in the back of my mind. You know how they say, Billy, you know, you don't forget things, people that have done bad to you, and you don't forget things that people have done good for you. So
There's a guy outside. He's looking for that money.
There's another example of what makes a restaurant successful, the location of it. Was that a tough location because it was
Which one?
the one on Woburn?
It was a little bit different. It was out of my realm because I'm used to the North End
Yeah,
and
it's a
then
little different
downtown
than
Boston.
the other places.
So it was a little bit different. I mean, we took off there when we first opened up, and we were killing it.
Because you get a lot of offices
Yeah,
around
no.
there and industry and stuff.
I have no regrets when it comes to anything I've ever opened because luckily they all worked. And then when I got the opportunity to sell everything in 2020, right before COVID, you're talking about hitting the lottery right before COVID.
is that when you sold?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right before COVID?
The world shut down March 15th. We closed January 27, 2020.
Well, it's
Wow,
funny you
that's
mentioned that.
That's a stroke of luck.
Well,
Yeah.
it's also
Wow.
for myself. I sold my house to Suffolk Downs in January of 2020, right before COVID. It's HYM.
Yeah, okay.
Tom O'Brien, you know
Yeah,
Tom?
no, I know.
Yeah,
what
well,
it is.
HYM anyway. So I sold right before. So before the COVID hit, they might have told me to, take a walk, but just right before. So you got in you sold right before it hit.
Correct.
January, February, in that area.
January 27th.
Okay, January of same month as me.
It was mine. I think it was
2020.
St. Patrick's Day when they closed down. I think, wasn't it?
It was actually March
seriously.
15th. You know how I remember
15th?
it?
What?
I was in New York. I was on the set of Blue Bloods. No, was it Blue Bloods? The one with Donnie Wahlberg in New York when he was New York Cop. I was on the set. I had taken my daughter down. Donnie says, come down on the set. And during the middle of us just sitting there watching them shoot, they closed the set. And they said, everybody got to go. Everything shut down.
Right there.
Right
in the middle.
there. Driving through Times Square, driving back, I went, wow, the world really is shutting down.
Wow.
Now, Nick, are you doing any? I know you like the acting. You were trying to.
Not acting.
No,
No.
I thought you were trying to get into the acting business. No,
No. I love entertainment.
you love entertainment.
I love music.
But you've been in a couple
I
of
love-
movies, right?
Yes, and just so you know, you're sitting with an Oscar award-winning actor. I don't know if you know. No. What the fuck you laughing? You know that, right?
No, I
By
didn't know. I thought you were kidding me.
No, real quick
you
story.
pulling my leg?
No, not pulling your leg.
All right.
So I became friends with a guy that came in. His name's David O. Russell, big Hollywood producer.
Oh, yeah.
He had done Silver Playbook Lining
Yeah.
with Bradley Cooper. Okay, comes down to the restaurant one night with a friend, Sean O'Brien, one of the great Boston icons, by the way, Sean. Anyway, he brings in this guy, David O. Russell. He says, Nick, will you come down and meet him? Yeah, Nick, because he's going to be here for 4 months shooting this movie. So I go down and meet him. Bye-bye. I give him my card. I says, you need anything? If you need milk at 3 a.m, David, call me. I got you. You're staying at the Intercontinental Hotel. Well, night lady calls me. Can you come by? I go by. For 2 months, great guy. He's in the restaurant almost every night after the shoot. Calls me 2 months in, and he says, Nick, can you come by the set? They were setting set in Woburn, Mass. He says, can you come by the set today? I said, yeah. You need anything? He goes, no, just come by. So he come by, he goes, I wanted to do something nice for you. So I go into this room. I had to put the phone down. I go into this room, and in this room is Bradley Cooper, Amy Adams, Jennifer Lawrence, Christian Bale, Jeremy Renner, and he says, Nick, I want you to meet somebody. Because he knows in my restaurant I play all the mob movies and all my favorite movies. And he says, Bob, he goes, say hi to Nick Varano. He's a big fan of yours. It was Robert De Niro. He came in to shoot one day the set, and the movie was called American Hustle.
Oh, yeah.
It won Movie of the Year, but that's not why I win the Oscar. So I'm in there, and twice in my lifetime, the right leg, I couldn't get it to stop shaking. This is God's honest truth.
Really?
Yeah, once I was 16. I can't get into that on the air. The second time was when Robert De Niro says, Nick, I've been craving some fresh cheese. We just talked for maybe a minute. I won't exaggerate, maybe a minute. So I says, can I use my phone, David? Anyway, I send them down 40 pounds of cheese in the trailer. He goes in the trailer 20 minutes later. He sees all the cheese. He comes out. He says, wow, that's very nice. You said, what your name was again? I said, Nick. He goes, what are you doing the rest of the day? I says, no, nothing, Mr. De Niro. He goes, you want to hang out? He goes, David, put a suit on and make him my bodyguard in the movie. Put him behind me in the scene. Minkia, neighborhood kid.
That's
De
nuts.
Niro,
That's
the
nuts.
right leg didn't stop shaking. I'm in the movie. So anyway, we're watching the Oscars that year. And you know the awards they give, they're not on there, not the important awards?
Yeah.
American Hustle that year won Best Ensemble Cast. So guess what?
Come on.
Yep.
I didn't know that. I thought
My friend. My
you,
friend.
thought you were.
You should have given me at least $50 to appear here today.
One of the articles, one of the interviews
Best
for you.
ensemble
Okay,
cast.
Frank.
Your
least
favorite,
50.
movies are my favorite movies.
Yeah. So
Godfather, Goodfellas, and Casino.
yes.
You're gonna,
Correct.
Nikki.
Love
You're not
dogs
gonna
there.
believe this when I tell you this. Nobody can believe it. I'm talking people. I have cousins in Washington D.C. I have friends all over the country, like yourself. Friends all over. Nobody can believe. They don't believe that I've never watched an episode of The Sopranos. Not one.
Yeah, there's no reason you should have a fucking podcast, I'll be honest with you. You're an Italian American.
I'm going to tell you why.
right?
Honestly,
You don't ever watch
Nick.
The Sopranos?
Nick, I'm going to tell you why. You know where we all grew up.
Yes, no, I
Okay,
get it.
so
I know what you're going to say.
I
know
know
where
I'm
you're
not
gonna
going
go
to
with
say it.
I get it.
But you
Listen
know
to
what
me.
I'm saying.
It truly was
The greatest. Everybody says it.
the greatest. David Chase came up with a concept, and he cast the best cast you could have ever. Like, to me, the greatest character actor of all time was All in the Family.
Oh, hands
Right?
down.
By far.
100%.
Right?
1000%.
I can't see him as anybody else. There was nobody that could tell me there was a better character actor in any 1 hour show than James Gandolfini as Tony Soprano or Tony Sirico as Paulie Walnuts. All of them.
I agree with that,
They
Nick.
cannot be. It was that good.
Yes.
So.
However, but my excuse was when I was watching a couple of minutes of it, it reminded me of things that I was so familiar with.
Yeah, you were around the day in and day
That's
out.
my
Every
point. So
social
I really
club,
didn't.
everything. Yeah,
I
get
didn't
it.
need a
Yeah.
steady diet of it. But like The Godfather.
Well, that was an extension. The Godfather was the first one that showed the mob as a family.
Yes.
But then.
But it was
The Sopranos
glamorized. It was
expanded upon-
glamorized.
But
expa-
this
expanded upon
showed
that.
you a little bit of everything,
Ex-
a little reality. Like, to me, the movie Goodfellas showed you a lot.
That was
right?
real.
Right, it was real. The movie Casino, to me, is the number one most realist of them all, because it really showed you from the gambling side, from how they built Las Vegas,
Yep.
to the Bugsy Siegel days, to the Chicago days.
Yeah.
Like, Las Vegas Casino was the most realist out of them all.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Especially Sharon Stone, because I had a girlfriend like that.
There you go.
I got a pit in my stomach when I watched that, because I remember I went through this.
But
Yeah,
the reason
it was
you should have
horrible.
watched it is because a lot of people don't know, but a guy from East Boston wrote the first
Frank.
3 years. Frankie Renzulli
Jo-
wrote the
Johnny
first 3
grew,
years. of
Johnny
Sopranos.
grew up with him in Maverick Projects.
Yeah, wrote the Sopranos first 3 years. for David
First three
Chase.
seasons. Exactly
The
right.
best
We've
part-
talked.
He was
The
in
best
Broadway
part of
Danny
that-
Rose.
Did
the
you
best-
watch it a lot, Billy?
I watched the whole thing. I binged it like twice. I
Yeah.
love it. But
I feel
the
like
best
enough.
part of the whole thing was not even. I mean, they were phenomenal actors and actresses, but they were so down to earth when it came time to do the award shows.
Nah, they were.
All the other people all the other celebrities wanted to meet them, and they were like, "You want to meet me? Why?" I mean, they didn't.
Here's how
They
big.
didn't get the fact that they were the
You're
biggest
so right.
thing there was.
And they didn't know how big they were.
Right. They were so good, and it was so planted. They were like James Gandolfini. He cared about the kids doing their homework on the set. things like that that like people didn't know behind the scenes. He was just a great guy.
You asked me a thing when you said, "Oh, when did you know like it hit right?" You know, I won't mention the names. A billionaire from Boston at the time, like 2003, 2004, calls me, says, "Nick, I need a favor." Foxwoods was doing a meet and greet with like 500 people, so that's really 250 people with a guest for VIPs with the cast of The Sopranos, right? So I would bring all my friends. I brought my friends everywhere along with me, along the way. And this billionaire, very well known in Boston, calls me. Sometimes you wouldn't even say hi to me, this guy. Call my cell phone. "Nick, I need a favor for a friend of mine. He's trying to romance this young girl." He tells me the guy's name. I said, "Wow, the guy's a billionaire back then." He says, "Any chance you can get him to meet the cast of The Sopranos at this Fox thing?" I called everybody. I can't get in. He can't get in, can't get in. I says, "Yeah, no problem." Not only did I get him in, I went to Jimmy. I said, "Jimmy, do me a favor. Grab him first in line. He's with this girl. He's trying to make the girl, right? Do me a favor. Get him." Jimmy not only grabbed him out of the line, got him first, sat on the girl sat in his lap. The guy there, they didn't know what to do for me after that. I went, these guys are billionaires, right? I own a restaurant, and they're calling me to get something like this done. I says, wow. And they never forgot it because they would,
Well,
for
that's
20
my-
years buy gift certificates and throw all their parties in my restaurants. But it was like, to me, it was easy to get it done. But these guys couldn't do it. I was like, wow, I have something here.
That's my point, Nicky. It's a certain touch, a certain magic, if you will, that not everybody has, because there's a million business owners in Boston or all over the country. So to accomplish what you've accomplished in 20 years, to me, it's astounding, staggering.
You had to listen. At the end of the day, it comes down to simplicity. In my opinion, it's so simple. You don't need to be educated. You need a diploma, degree. You guys had a great guest a few weeks ago, Bobby Wong, right? They did it here in Saugus Kowloon. You know how? Making everybody just feel like they're part of the family.
Incredible, absolutely.
That's it. When you went in there, whether it was him or his brothers,
Yep.
Andy, Don, whoever it
Yeah.
was, they made you feel like you were part of a family.
Absolutely.
Same thing. When you came into Strega, now everybody, thinks they know everything about hospitality. Shut up, right? It's really that simple.
Did you get Nick? Did you want to say something? Sorry, Bill.
No. I said it's so true.
Did you follow anybody's, or did you just this is just your personality? Did you follow anybody's handbook?
No, I'll tell you the truth. Before I opened, I went to Frankie DiPasquale and I asked them for help to on a menu to give me some guidance because he had the Il Panino, which I thought was the best restaurant in the North End at the time, the original Il Panino on Palmetto Street. And I actually called my friend Stevie Marano's at the time in Fort Lauderdale, local Park Boulevard. I actually called him and I told him, obviously I'm a huge fan. I love what he does, and I may play some of the mall movies. I want to make sure he was comfortable with it. I said, not trying to replicate or duplicate, but it's just something special when I come into your place in Fort Lauderdale that I'd never get that vibe or experience in anywhere else.
But it's an
And I did
individual
it.
thing.
And to this day, we're dear friends. He actually posted me the other day. I was in there for dinner.
I see him I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah, but I mean that's where I got the idea of Strega, right? A little bit. But I looked up to everybody that came before me, and I paid homage to all of them.
But even the people that came before you, Nick, they didn't have the touch, is what I'm trying to say. And that's what it's astounding because, I mean, there's a million restaurants. Like I said, the last ones I remember was the one, the Jimmy's Hot Pies, the
Yeah.
Tetchy's, the Joseph Aquarian. But there isn't many compared to the amount of
But
restaurants.
if you remember in the old days, remember Felicia's and
Yeah,
the
Felicia's,
whole wall,
yeah.
the whole wall
In
was
Stoneham?
all the celebrities that came in there. No, the one in the North End on Hanover. Was
Oh,
it on Hanover
okay.
Street? Yeah, and the whole wall was filled with Sinatra and Rocky Marciano's.
I got a question for Nick.
mandatory. What?
Do you remember Tony's at Maverick Square? When they used
Oh,
to
they cut your tie. Absolutely.
It was a tell Paul and Billy. I don't think you know.
You
about
went in
this.
there, no menu. She would cook for you.
The old lady.
If you finished your meal, they'd cut your tie and they'd hang your tie up on the wall.
Well, I guess the story is if you walked in, there was a little, and you just ate whatever they were cooking.
Yeah.
It was a little old lady, and if you couldn't finish the dish they gave you, they cut your tie.
Yeah, correct.
Now, if you look on, there was all kinds of politicians. The Kennedys were in there.
All the politicians.
Their ties were cut and pasted on the wall.
But you got to remember, our politicians were our celebrities in Boston
Yeah.
because of the Kennedys.
Absolutely.
No, before our athletes. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've had an amazing run, but
Yeah.
it started with Orr,
Oh, God.
Bird, Brady.
No
to me
question.
is everything. Brady was my guy.
The GOAT.
No, I mean Brady. transcends
No doubt.
sports. But we've had a great run.
No doubt.
But before we went on that, I mean, when we had with the Red Sox with like Rick Burleson and Butch Hobson, they weren't real personalities, right?
I can't believe you remember them, Nick.
Before
You're
we
young.
before we got Big Papi and the whole Red Sox.
How do you remember those names? You were a kid.
I'm a sports
A
fanatic.
baby. You must have been a
But-
baby when they were playing.
But before them, our politicians were our celebrities. So when you had, Mayor White going to a restaurant or one of the Kennedys
Right.
going to your restaurant, it became big news. It made the Boston Globe. It made the Boston Herald. So all I did was take that recipe and push the ball forward.
Absolutely. Well, you did a great job, and I haven't seen anybody since, in my opinion, and
Thank you.
and you'll be there for a long, long time. Now, as far as the restaurants, you said it earlier, you're done with the restaurants?
No, I mean, I'm never say done.
Right.
But for right now, I'm
Just relaxing?
enjoying my kids, enjoying my granddaughter
grand-
now, and just go back and forth.
How
from
old
here
is the
to Florida.
granddaughter, Nick?
7 weeks.
7
Ella
weeks.
Rose.
You must be out of your mind.
Beyond.
Yeah. Now, how when your mother passed was around 2009.
9.
Okay. And did she see the level of? I mean, you obviously got more successful after she passed.
Seen Strega and NICO in the North End. She never got to see Strega Waterfront.
Oh, that's right.
And then after that, obviously, Strip in the Park Plaza was a game changer.
Right.
Another one, and she never seen that. But my mother, all she cared about that I treated everybody.
And she did a good
the way
job.
the way she raised me.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Now, my cousin. Now, I want to ask you a question. Pericolas.
Dave.
Do you remember my mother in there, the little blonde lady?
Kidding me?
Camilla.
Yes, of course I remember Camilla. But Dave, to me, is one of the most humble, nicest, realest guys I've ever met in my
He
life.
adores you.
Do you know I bought my wife's engagement ring from Dave?
He told me this.
I think he cuffed me. I think I
told me
gave him
this.
like $900, and it was on a payment plan. I think I still owe him for it, but I did. But Dave is one of a kind, and obviously, anytime I needed to book any big acts through the years, Dave's my first phone call.
Did you? Yeah, he adores you. Did you know that was my mother that worked in there?
No.
All those years
And
through the
Pericolas.
Yeah. Well, she started working in there when his grandfather owned. I don't know if you remember Verge.
No.
Anyway, when he died, my mom stayed with David all through the 80s and 90s. So you had to be
100 times. Remember, my
blonde lady.
Uncle Victor had Victor's Variety.
Oh,
When I
Victor.
started working, you talk about mentors and stuff like that. I looked up to my Uncle Victor.
Great
and
guy.
My other uncle, my Uncle Paul. I mean, there was so many of them. But I seen the way they made everybody feel. So I got to give them a shout out, especially my Uncle Victor, because he really taught me what it meant to work hard and treat people nice.
I was at a a birthday of a 100-year-old man named Tony D'Angelo from Malden, a legend.
Okay.
And this was back in November, and your uncle come up to me. He goes, Joe, and he had the broken English.
Yes.
And I said, I'm sorry, I don't recognize. He goes, Victor,
Yeah.
Nick uncle.
Yeah.
And I said, oh my God, he remembered me. I only met him
Yeah,
couple
yeah,
of
yeah.
times. What a sweetheart.
So we were on the corner right next to where your mother was in Orioles, on the same street on Bennington.
On Bennington
we were
Street.
82 Bennington.
Imagine that.
Did I read somewhere you had like 14 uncles?
14 brothers, and my mother was one of 16. 2 girls and 14
Jeez.
boys.
Wow.
Imagine that.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was tough to probably date my mother and my aunt back in the day.
Well, my mother
they all
grew
came
up,
from Calabria.
well, my mother grew up with 5 brothers too, so it had to be tough.
Tough, yes.
You know, and
14
she was
of them,
tough.
Yeah.
But that's hysterical because my cousin always talks about your mother coming in the store.
My mother was very close.
So
to,
your mother
Dave.
must have knew my mother from the
I
store
had it. They were in there all the time.
all the time. I mean, she was there from
my
80.
mother and my aunt Anna were probably in Oriole in
Pericolas.
3-4 days a week.
And
Whether
my-
it was getting pictures developed or buying
Yeah.
a piece of jewelry or something.
What a different world.
Oh, yeah.
My mother, like I said, she was there from 1980 to 98, so there had to be a lot of contact. I wish, something you never get over your mom. Now, Paul's mother is how old? Your mom?
Gonna be 94 in
God,
October.
that's insane.
Yeah.
bless her.
That's a gift.
She's getting smaller every day. I don't think she could get on the rides at Disneyland anymore. She's
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
You're obviously an entertainer, singer,
Yes.
right? Give me real quick, right? Because this is my time. I don't want to make it about you, but
No,
I have
no,
to ask you a
absolutely.
question. Top 4 music entertainers, your Mount Rushmore singers.
Singers: Elvis, Sinatra, Tom Jones, Engelbert Humperdinck.
That's it. That's your Mount Rushmore. You only got 4.
That's
no?
my 4 round.
What about you? Comedians. 4.
comedians, Rickles, Dangerfield, Robin Williams, Colin.
Okay. Great lineups. Good.
Billy.
Luther Vandross. Let's see. There's a lot of them. Elvis is one of them. He's in there. Engelbert as well, and I want to say Jeffrey Osborne.
Ooh, Jeffrey, baby, woo, woo, woo.
But you see the different styles of Billy. Billy and I used to work together, and we have
Different styles.
Well, he likes the R&B. I really am not a fan of R&B. I never liked Luther Vandross at all.
Oh my God! Don't say
never,
that.
I know.
Oh,
Now I shouldn't have a podcast again. First, The
Luther's
Sopranos.
incredible. God rest his soul.
But there's a kid that I'd rather listen to Billy Pizzullo sing than Luther Vandross. I'm not joking. I just never liked him. But there's a kid around here now, a kid named Dennis Taylor.
Okay.
You ever see him? He's
No,
going
I
to be
have not.
at the Fisherman's Feast. He's a young kid.
definitely
What's he,
go see
30
him.
years old, Billy?
Thereabouts, yeah.
He's
about 30.
sensational. So if you're listening to Dennis out there, I think he's one of the best. 30-year-old kid. He sounds like doesn't he, Billy? Sounds like an older man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a young kid.
He's definitely, yeah. He's another guy born out of time.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Listen,
so-
you want to ever see something good? Go on YouTube when you talk about people I've met and become friends with. Someone that's become like a brother to me that you would never expect is Jamie Foxx.
Really?
Jamie?
What a talent.
I mean,
Wow.
Phenomenal.
He's truly closer to me than some of my friends. That's how we were at his daughter's wedding. His daughter was just at my house in Florida. Jamie's incredible. Watch Jamie do Luther Vandross on a piano.
I've a million times
Right?
I've watched it.
It is-
amazing.
I mean, to me, he's
The
the
Ray
GOAT,
Charles.
the most talented comedian, stand-up, actor, singer, music producer. He's done it all.
Multi-talented.
But again, you talk about opening a restaurant and meeting people that change your life. He's one of the people that I can honestly say that I got very fortunate to meet and become friends with.
Now, does Nico, you opened not too long after Strega.
2007, correct.
Okay, I remember.
2003, then Nico. We had the disco theme.
I
Disco
remember that
meatballs
too,
and
yeah.
martini.
I
We had the whole
remember
parado. I had Denny Terrio come.
Yeah,
Right.
David
Denny
had
Terrio.
that.
David got me.
I was there
Denny.
actually. I remember Mike's Joe the Barber with Michael.
Joe the
his
Barber
son.
was there,
Do you ever
God
see his
rest
son anymore, Michael?
Michael, yeah, I talk to him all the
You
time.
do?
Yeah, he works for the craft group. Michael's a great
What's
kid.
he doing for the craft group?
I don't know. He's working, doing something with them.
Like-
Michael's actually a
I
good
go
kid,
back
but
a
his
little-
father,
Yeah, the best.
his father, someone I truly admired and loved my whole life, Joe Spaziani,
Good
Joe
guy.
the Barber, an icon in my book.
I grew up with him.
Yeah, I know you.
Well, you know, it's
you
funny.
and Moose.
It's funny. The funny thing about Beach Monk, and you could say this with any place on the East Coast, Philly, New Jersey, East Boston, but that was the exact. Remember the Bronx Tale, Paul? That's
course.
exactly how you grew up, and I grew. Exactly. I mean,
You
see
could
the-
be in a different social club between the North End, East Boston, and Beachmont 7 nights a week.
Yeah, but you could say that about any corner in the East Coast.
Oh, 100%.
And if you've seen the same thing, the caddies pulling.
It was really. You think about a movie, yeah?
Now you know why I didn't watch The Sopranos. I mean, it just you had a steady diet of it most of your
And
life.
that's what these guys liked. I remember the first time LeBron James comes to my restaurant. He's 17 years old.
17.
17. I don't know if you have the picture, but 17 years old. He gets drafted by Cleveland. Summer League is in Boston, 2003. He comes in with Rich Paul, the number one agent in the world right now, Clutch Sports, right? And Maverick Carter, right? I don't know if you know who that is. You know,
I don't.
Okay, he's married to Adele now. Okay?
Okay.
They're 16 and 17. He came out of high school. Gets drafted, comes into my restaurant because Summer League's Boston. He had a Yankees hat, Jay-Z t-shirt, and the dog tags back then, silver dog tags as a chain. And he came in my restaurant. 17. So I sit down, talk to him. They didn't want to leave. Just listen to me tell my stories. And to this day, you talk about loyalty. LeBron James, been in the league now since I've been open, 03, right? So 23
He was
years.
17?
24, 17. I'll show you the picture.
Wow.
23 years. Anytime he comes to Boston, which when he was with Cleveland was twice a year, unless it was the playoffs. And then we went to the West Coast, they only came once a year. Only place he's ever been into Boston.
Is he a
25
nice
years.
guy? 'Cause a lot of-
Every year. Most nice, but with me. I
Yes.
can only speak for me. Incredible.
He's caught in a lot of heat over the years for
Not with me.
No, I'm saying
And no one
over-
can talk bad about him to me. Because
bad publicity.
He's been loyal and good for 23 years. He comes to Boston. He comes to Strega, and all he wants to do is sit there and talk. You talk, you want like hear my stories, the movies, and this. It's unbelievable.
Again, treating him like
Again,
just a regular person.
Steph
like,
Curry.
yeah.
Steph Curry to this day, maybe the greatest, not maybe the greatest shooter in basketball history.
What do you think it is, Nick, about the Italian
They're always in my place.
culture? And just as what you've been through, why do people so drawn to it? It amazes me because we're so used to it. But what is it about, other ethnic groups? They're drawn to they're interested in stories
Listen,
like you.
And I'm not saying this, and maybe I am saying it because I am Italian American, right? And I love the culture. But I go to Italy 2-3 times a year. I take my friends, I go with my family. Listen, fashion,
Food.
right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Charm, right? History, right?
Mm-hmm.
Colosseum
Sound like
and
my
the
father.
Vatican. No, I'm saying it's everything. But love and food brings everybody together. It's a simple formula, right? Sundays,
Music,
if you're
too.
Italian American, music,
And the family,
the
and the
greatest,
family,
right?
and it's
Fa-
family-centric,
So Sundays
very
you had to be
family-centric.
together, right?
Yeah, every
well,
Sunday.
Guess what? That's what it is. So you felt like part of a family. And don't get me wrong, they watch movies and they see how it is, and then not everyone that's not Italian wants to be part of that. So I put it all together. So when you came into one of my restaurants, I wanted you to feel more than just getting a meatball, or getting a veal, or getting a dish of pasta. I want you to feel like home. Bring them out at something else. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. Make them feel good. That, because when you came to my house on Sunday, my mother, we didn't have money, right? When my mother came here, we lived in a tenement in the North End. If you didn't have nothing, when you came to my house, whether it was a Sara Lee pound cake, a bag of chips, or fucking patati and chipudi and onions and potatoes, she made it for you. You can ask any one of my friends. To the day my mother passed away, if I called her at 4 in the afternoon or 3 in the morning, and I said, Ma, I gotta come, I'm hungry, she would cook and make everybody feel good. And that's what it was.
That's all it's about.
And that you say why they love the Italian American culture, because that's what brought everybody together. It was the food, love, and the passion. And to do it, fortunate enough to do it, growing up in the North End in East Boston, and then being able to live out my dream in the North End. Listen, I don't care about Disney.
No,
That's
no.
my
That's your Disney.
fantasy. That's my
Exactly,
Disney.
exactly.
Being in that neighborhood.
I'll tell you, there's so many Italian restaurants though out there. To be honest with you.
Yes.
The food. I mean, your food is just—it's unbelievable.
Thank you.
I'm a frutta di mare guy.
Oh, I love fruit.
I've
had the same special fruta di mare for 25 years.
Billy, what do you know about food?
I don't know. I don't know anything. Nothing at all. I made some
Thank you,
disappearing meatballs once.
Thank you.
Oh, don't even go with that story. Nicky, would you ever come up? But Paul, when we going back to Magnolia, we're gonna make sure Nick comes up to Magnolia some night.
Oh, I'd love to have it.
I'd love to see it.
A couple times a year. You know what I have? Like last time we had almost 40 guys, but everybody's a restaurant owner, singers.
I'll bring the
comedians,
food.
Things.
Done.
And you know what? Everybody just hangs out. It's
I'd love
right on
to.
the
We
ocean.
usually
I'd
do
be
it
on it.
once in the spring, right? And then we do one in the fall. So
Yeah.
the fall one is October usually, Paul.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
on the water.
September.
Absolutely gorgeous. And
But it's, you know what? Everybody connects. Like you find out you get connections and they break
Different
into
people
groups.
get together.
Yeah,
well,
but
you've
you
had
never know who
you're gonna meet.
judges there and attorneys.
From my other life, I've
Yeah.
had retired police chiefs, detectives telling stories, having a few cocktails. And
Nick,
telling
you probably
stories.
know half the place.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
No, really, because it's a great take, right, Billy? We've been going
No, it's
15
been the
years
best.
now.
Yeah,
Lots of
it
laughs.
started like, as a matter of fact, at that house. You want to hear what's funny? My Uncle Vito, every Monday he used to have all his friends up there, and like they all showed up with those old big Goodfellas Cadillacs and stuff. And 3 people have come up to us in the last 2 years and said, you know, we used to hear the guys arguing in there, and they're cooking sauce, and we thought it was a mob. They would thought, because no, they were the nicest guys in the world. That they thought
And Nick,
they
you
thought they were all
absolutely
mobsters.
love this vibe. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
Yes.
I'm an old soul.
Yes, I know.
still to this day play gin and Scala 40 with 3 or 4 old timers, right? I'm the youngest by far. With the guys at 89, 90, and 78. And we play 2-3 days a week when I'm in Boston. And I do it just to keep them alive and to make them alive.
That's
And I enjoy
fantastic.
that more than anything
Those,
else.
That's the
those
best.
guys
life.
are. This
My
just-
Uncle Mimo, excuse me, I don't mean
Go
to
ahead,
interrupt.
okay.
I still go, when I'm here, I go visit my Uncle Mimo, who's 90 years old. We play Scala 40, an Italian gin game, basically, right? We play for $1 a game. And if I tell you I'd rather do that, enjoy that, than do anything else in my life, it brings me so much joy because people forget about history and what came before you. You know, I remember growing up, you talk about guys like Joe the Barber. I thought he was 100 when he was 50, right? And be like, yeah, and I thought I knew everything, right? Because I'm 20-something, think I'm a hot shot. But I always respected because the people that came before me, what they forgot, I'll never know. Right? And now I see all these young guys that think they know everything about hospitality and restaurants, and they do this and they because you know they go viral with a thing on Instagram.
Exactly.
Not saying they don't, but the people that came before me, you got to give them their flowers.
But
Absolutely.
I remember one night I was at your place in at the seaport, and I'll never forget. I was with a girl, and we're having dinner.
Shocker.
And
Must have been a long time ago.
oh, well, that's funny, Paul. All right, you want to start, Peasy? No, but anyway, you were there, and who was sitting behind me is Bob Kraft. And that particular night, Sal Ferracano is coming out with all kinds of apps. But this is my point, Nikki. This is the gift. They just making me look like a movie star. And the girl was, she wasn't Marilyn Monroe, but Sal's coming out. Phil brought me to the seat like I was Frank Sinatra. And just the vibe that they made me feel. And then before you know it, the owner, Nick Varano's over there. Kraft was behind me, and I said, Nick, can you get a picture? The owner's taking the picture of me and Bob Kraft. I still got it till this day, the picture. Had my eyes closed, but that was
I hope
back.
it worked out for you then, and you got a little...
No, if you want the truth, what happened that way? What's so funny, Billy?
Nothing.
You want the truth about that night? It's just hysterical because this particular girl, I won't mention her name, but she was texting. This is back in 2012.
Forget about
And she's
it.
texting all
I'll
night.
see ya.
Now I'm taking to her. Here I am in Strega waterfront, no sawdust joint.
Yeah.
Everything's being treated like a king, and all of a sudden she's texting. I left her there. I didn't leave her there. She was with some friends at the bar, and I said, "Can you take the blah 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 home?" And I left because I was so insulted.
Yeah, of course, I get it.
But here I am in a beautiful place, taking pictures with Bob Kraft, and that's to answer your question. No, nothing happened.
All right.
But anyways, what do we got for time, Billy? 7:50. We don't want to keep Nikki too long.
Unless he wants to leave. Don't
Well, that's
worry
right,
about-
Nikki. He just came in from he off a plane.
I know.
But,
Just to be here. That's
Yes,
something right there.
but you know something, we're going to get
That's
him.
unbelievable.
We're going to get him in Magnolia for sure. I'm going to keep in touch with you on that, Nick.
Absolutely.
Because you're going
We
to.
gotta
I'll
get
bring
him.
the food. I
This
said
is
it.
absolutely.
I'll be honored to come.
All right. What else did Peasy want? Is Johnny on there at all?
He's not on.
He must be. He must be sleeping. What else did he ask me? This is one for you. 3 people, living or dead, who would you want to have dinner with? Just like you asked my favorite singers. You've met everybody.
Met everybody. I mean, reality would probably be my mother, one. Right? But, we'll go. I know you want the celebrity answer.
No, that's a celebrity.
No, that's a celebrity. You're
my-
right, Billy. Good one. That's a good
That's a
one.
celebrity.
Yep.
My mother,
Mm-hmm.
my father,
It's a great question.
and Pope John Paul II.
That's what I wanted to tell you. Is it true you met him?
I met Pope Francis.
You
Yes.
met a you met a pope.
Yeah.
You met a pope.
Yeah, I went. I had a few minutes with him. Me and my daughter alone with him, and it was spectacular. Yeah.
And Paul has a poop.
Yeah. But as far as
Stick to
as far,
singing.
as far as celebrities, right?
Yep.
Elvis, Frank
Oh.
Sinatra, and probably Pacino.
I met both of them, Pacino and Sinatra.
I met Pacino, never met Sinatra,
Yep.
never was even able to see his concert.
I met him 3 times, shook his hand 3 times, and it was. I went home. I'll never forget the early days in the '90s. I called my mother, and I woke her up, and it was back in '94 actually. And then she goes, "What's the matter?" I go, "Ma, I just met." She goes, "You okay?" I go, "Yeah." Good night. Click.
But that's a very good question.
Yeah.
Because to me now, if you told me right now, celebrities that are alive now that I know that it would be Jamie Foxx, Lionel Richie, Sebastian Maniscalco.
Those 3.
Oh my God.
Now, what about Mark Wahlberg? He looks like a nice guy.
Mark Wahlberg is the realest fucking guy that ever came out. One of the realest guys that ever came out of Boston, Massachusetts. He's a awesome friend, awesome human being, very religious, and just a good guy. Never forgot where he came from. One of the only celebrities that I've ever met that I've never seen him say no to take pictures, or when he comes in my restaurant, we did his 50th birthday party a few years back, private thing in my restaurant, and he might have stayed an extra 2 hours, just people were outside waiting for him to come out. Did not say no to one person for a picture, or and he never forgot where he came from.
His brother
I love
Donnie's the
Mark.
same, right?
Donnie's the greatest.
The
Love
night
Donnie.
that we had Mike Dowd from New York here, we had Arthur Wahlberg here. He was sitting watching. The brother, they don't really. I don't think they talk too much, but whatever.
No,
Not
Ma-
even
Ma-
one-man
Ma-
party.
Mark, Donnie, both
Just bought him a truck.
amazing guys. I actually, quick story. I got thrown out of East Boston High in the 9th grade, so I had to go do 3 months at Copley Square High in downtown Boston, and I was actually classmates with Donnie and Mark.
Really?
Yeah, and then
Do they remember you?
I quit. No, they didn't remember me at the time.
Right.
We got friendly right thereafter, but I quit, then Mark quit, and
Did you
we
have
became
my
friends.
uncle Carmen Pericola? Mr. Pericola in
No,
high school? No.
I did not.
He was
no.
an English teacher at
I
East
was
Boston.
only at East Boston High for like 4 months.
There you go. There's your answer. Anyway, Nick, I don't want to. I'd love to have you for another hour, but I know you want to probably get home after sit next to him all night. I mean,
You could have had a highway cone here. You could have done the same thing, but you hadn't shut up the whole night.
Well, I mean-
I could have brought. You could have brought one of your blow-up dolls.
every
from your
time I
house.
asked you to say something, you said no. Go ahead. So
No,
I
no,
took.
yeah, good questions.
I
Yeah, yeah.
most of them would definitely attribute to John Peasy. He does come prepared, Johnny Peasy. I got to give him credit. But Nick, thank you for being here tonight, and on behalf of John, then thank you, Paul, for filling in for Johnny. And I hope we could do this again. You think it's possible?
Absolutely. Guys, listen to me. I feel so honored that
Oh,
you guys.
stop it.
Thank you both. Thank you all three of you guys for having me on.
Did you tell Johnny you were coming?
I'm batting way above average. I love Johnny's.
We had a blast with it. Did he tell you? Did he?
You want to hear stories? He's got stories, and listen, man's man, right?
Yeah, no, he
27
was
years
fantastic. 27,
on his head, and
he's got a great attitude.
incredible.
Absolutely. I'm surprised he didn't tell you because he when I posted your video, he had liked it on Instagram.
Yeah, listen.
And I'm surprised he didn't.
I've never seen anybody come home and what he's doing now to help all these kids. That,
Yes, he was
all these
fascinating.
People. He's just a special person inside and out, and I'm his biggest fan.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, Nick, one more time, thank you for being here, and thank you, Paul, for filling in for John.
My pleasure.
And Billy, take it home, brother.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nick. You a pleasure.
Billy,
Absolute
thank you, sir.
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us for Straight Up Talk Boston. We're here every Monday night at 7 o'clock. We want you guys to join us. If you like our content, please subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, and don't forget to show up at Strega. You want good food? That's the place to go. God bless you. We'll see you next week.
No, you know what you want.